Today, we're diving back into the latest episode of 1923’s. Sheriff Kent takes out an Indian boy, and the priest is livid about this reckless killing. He rants about how the sheriff's been offing innocent folks left and right, but can't even catch a girl. The sheriff's convinced the boy was with Teonna's crew, but the priest ain't buying it. He's so mad. He says the sheriff's the one who deserves to burn in hell, and then bam, he pulls out his gun and sends the sheriff packing to the afterlife. The night falls on the freezing plains, and Teonna's restless, can't catch a wink.
Won't be gone long.
Pete's been gone too long, and she's got this gut feeling something's wrong. Her dad promises to go look for him at first light. As dawn breaks, Run Horse takes Teonna following Pete's trail. They spot birds circling, and the sky must be over some rotting corpse. They find the boy's body, been dead a while. Nearby, the sheriff's corpse seems to suggest the threat's been neutralized. Run Horse decides it's time to take Teonna home, back to Montana. Night falls, and Run Horse, thinking the pursuers are dead, boldly lights a campfire in the open. Teonna's in despair, looking like she's lost all will to live. Her dad sits down beside her, trying to lift her spirits. He tells her that surviving means keeping the Crow tribe alive. Little do they know, danger's creeping up. The priest is lurking in the bushes, watching the father and daughter. Once they're asleep, he sneaks up and clubs Run Horse to death as he wakes. Then he points his gun at Teonna, mumbling prayers for the girl. He wants to redeem her before killing her, but Teonna refuses to repent.
I'm not sorry. You be sorry.
I'm renouncing salvation!
I renounce it!
To the devil.
The priest pulls the trigger, and in that moment, fate tips the scaleless the guns out of bullets. Teonna grabs a handful of burning embers and smears them on the priest's face, then snatches a dagger and stabs the hypocritical priest repeatedly. Finally, she picks up the gun and sends him straight to hell. This scene is dripping with drama. Sheriff Kent, hiding behind the justice of the law, has been on a killing spree of innocents. The priest, cloaking himself in the justice of faith, offs the sheriff. These two phony moralists complete a perfect cycle of violence, showing that no one truly represents justice. What you call justice might just be senseless murder in someone else's eyes. The priest's role is especially ironic. Already got blood on his hands from killing kids at the monastery, yet he tries to justify killing Teonna with a religious ritual, praying for her. But when Teonna refuses to repent, it challenges his authority, and rage makes him drop the act, revealing his demonic true self, ready to execute her. But fate pulls a dramatic switch. His faith crumbles before reality. Or maybe God ditches this fake believer, and the gun's empty. That prayer becomes his own confession of sins. Teonna's counterattack isn't just about survival. It's a total rejection of the priest's bogus faith. This reveals the fickleness of fate. 1 second you're in control of life and death, the next you're a ghost under the knife. Teonna's survival isn't because good deeds are rewarded, but pure luck and her own resolve. On this lawless frontier, life and death often hang on who's faster, meaner, and luckier. As the snow starts to melt, the dusk is still chilly under the setting sun. The Duttons are gathered around the dinner table, and with Zane's family joining, the house feels livelier. Grandma Carla mentions wanting to buy some chickens for the new coop since they've been out of eggs for ages. Zane volunteers to ride out and get them, but old Jacob firmly says no, he'll let someone ride a horse just a week after brain surgery. Jack chimes in, saying he's sick of beans, which cracks Elizabeth up.
Hey, what's funny?
The sound of a car outside puts everyone on edge, and the men grab their guns. But it's just the sheriff with news. Old Jacob is both happy and worried about Spencer coming back. He's afraid Donald will find out, and it won't be good for his nephew. So he asks the sheriff to arrange protection at the station and plans to take some men to meet him. The sheriff's concerned about a clash between the Duttons and Donald, but Jacob snaps. Isn't that the war Donald wants? They figure Spencer's train won't arrive for at least 2 days, so they've got time to prepare.
Spencer's coming home.
At the bar, Banner's gang is talking about Spencer. An insider says this hero led the infantry division to win the Medal of Honor in the Argonne Battle, and after the war, he's been hunting lions in Africa. This makes Banner nervous, and he immediately sends men to stake out the train station, planning to kill this fearsome dude right there, and then go wipe out the old Dutton clan. After setting things up, Banner hurries to report to his boss. Donald's busy watching some M show with prostitutes, and the steamy scenes startle his Banner as he steps in. He tells Donald that the Duttons ace is coming, but Donald brushes it off, saying one guy's fighting skills have limits. Banner adds that this guy also has leadership skills, and the sheriff's on the Duttons side. Donald says Banner's panic and reassures him, the courts are still on our side. No matter how great he was, it's the present that counts. History's always written by the winners. Donald boasts, I've never been a rule follower. I'm a rule maker. Catch Spencer and kill him. Banner's convinced and gets up to carry out the plan. Before leaving, he glances at the two women on the bed, and a pang of conscience makes him mutter, these are someone's daughters too. Donald, unfazit, says, so what if they're daughters? If their moms came, I'd train them too. They're all my tools, and once trained, they'll be weapons to tame the big shots. Donald directs the game between the two women. Through the alternation of pain and pleasure, their nerves and minds are reshaped. Pain triggers the brain to release endorphins, and dopamine reinforces the expectation of pleasure. This addictive mechanism makes people sink deeper. Physically, pain is turned into pleasure by the brain. Psychologically, the victim develops a Stockholm syndrome, like dependence on the abuser. This scene, though it looks incredibly erotic, is actually to show that Donald craves not just money, but power. The ultimate form of power isn't violence. Violence is just a means. The ultimate power is controlling others. Donald's control over these two women shows how power completely objectifies humanity. In the face of power, people have no dignity. Facing Spencer and the Duttons, Donald wants not just to kill them, but to erase their existence and the dirty means he used to succeed. Banner's fleeting conscience might be a foreshadowing. Maybe one day his conscience will save him. To Donald, that bit of conscience is weakness. Donald's arrogance is bound to be his downfall because the real power fantasy isn't controlling others, but thinking you can control them forever. The controlled will eventually rebel, and that day will be the end of power. The Duttons also make arrangements overnight. Old Jacob leaves his grandnephew Jack and the injured Zane to guard the house while he takes some men to the train station to meet his nephew. Carla, worried, tells her husband to promise he'll come back safe. She insists on him swearing it. It seems this trip to pick up Spencer is fraught with danger, and a big battle is imminent. At night, Jack feels uneasy that his grandpa only took 3 men. He decides to go support them. Big Beard watches Jack ride off, and then goes to inform Zane. Inside, Grandma Carla and Elizabeth can't sleep. Carla's knitting randomly to calm her nerves while the girl, curled up in a blanket, says the situation feels unreal. It's the Coxcomb century with planes and trains, yet people still come to steal land and even kill for it. Carla sighs, saying no matter how fast human technology advances, under those fashionable clothes, people are still untamed beasts. But humans just can't control their greed, so humanity is bound to perish because of it. Then, Carla says, a cowboy talking to Zane and realizes something's up. She discreetly sends Elizabeth away. The news that Jack has gone alone to find his grandpa makes Carla even more worried. In the quiet morning woods, Jack hears hooves behind him and quickly hides in the trees. It's 2 of Banner's men, claiming to be from the Livestock Association's patrol team. They trick Jack out of the woods. Thinking they're on the same side, Jack lowers his gun, only to be shot down without warning. He dies defenseless in the forest, and the 2 hurriedly cover their tracks and leave. Old Jacob arrives at the station. The sheriff has been on watch all night. Jacob startles him awake, almost getting a gun pointed at him. The sheriff predicts Spencer will arrive on the train the day after tomorrow, and Banner hasn't shown up. Jacob surveys the terrain and thinks Banner's gang will make their move on the platform because it's easy to ride in and out. These next 3 days are bound to be rough. In this plot, Jack's death is so sudden and heart-wrenching. His sneaking off to support his grandpa shows strong responsibility, but clear lack of experience. His death makes you feel the fragility of an idealist in a violent world. He believed in rules, but the enemy doesn't play by the rules. The conversation between Grandma Carla and Elizabeth directly points out the theme of the show. Human greed hasn't disappeared with the progress of the times. Instead, humanity is like a spoiled child who doesn't know its limits, playing with a Thanos gauntlet. Sure enough, Spencer's train is also delayed by the heavy snow. After asking the conductor, he plans to get off at Livingston and switch to another route. Though it'll take an extra day, at least he won't be stuck waiting for the endless snow clearing. Alex is well taken care of at the couple's home. Her and Spencer's adventure stories amaze the couple. They're even more excited than Alex and offer to drive her there. After planning the route, this 1923 kilometer journey is set. The three of them drink and chat happily along the way, and Alex even learns to drive. They travel day and night toward Montana, and soon the scenery becomes more and more western herds of horses galloping past the window, Indian camps by the roadside, snowflakes falling from the sky, all signaling they're getting closer to their destination. But the wind and snow get heavier. They plan to stop at the next town. At a gas station, the lady suggests they switch to the train because ahead there are no paved roads, and with the bad road conditions and snow, it's hard for a car to make it, but Alex doesn't choose that option. The snow on the road gets heavier, and Alex is shivering with cold. The couple suggests she wrap herself in a blanket and sleep while they keep driving, drinking to stay warm, with a gas tank running low. Alex dozes off, and when she wakes up, the car is buried in snow, and the kind couple has frozen to death. The biting cold forces Alex back into the car. Humans always arrogantly defy nature, and this is exactly when nature reaps souls. In the end, humans will pay for their hubris and stupidity.
That a sixth one is coming.
All right, that's the story so far. This couple is like fairy godparents from a tile, providing the heroine with food, a vehicle, driving lessons, and even getting thrilled about someone else's love story. This pure altruism stands out in the harsh Western narrative. Alcohol symbolizes human indulgence, and it hastened their death. Here, death isn't punishment, but nature's indifferent treatment of all life. Alex learning to drive symbolizes her shift from the protected to the self-reliant. The western scenery outside the window is like a painting of the new world, foreshadowing the savage battlefield she's about to enter. Donald thinks he can rewrite the rules with capital. The Duttons think they can protect their land with force. But the ultimate power always belongs to nature. When the blizzard blocks the road, class are reset to 0, leaving only the most primal survival question. The frozen couple serves as a prophetic footnote. While humans are obsessed with plundering each other, nature is preparing an indiscriminate reckoning. Alex crawling out of the snow might hint at the possibility of a new civilization. By acknowledging our own insignificance, can we find the wisdom to coexist with nature? All right, that's all for this episode. Thanks for your patience and for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. See you next time.